And I'm going to tell a story that I've literally never told before, so I guess you feel very special.
I grew up.
It's okay, buddy.
So it was 1986, and Sherrard had just qualified for the state playoffs, and I had to work that day because
I grew up. I'm sick.
we didn't expect them to beat Knoxville and qualify, but they did, and so I went and talked to my boss, Mr. DePape, at the Showcase Cinemas in Milan, and explained the situation. And he was a stickler for the rules, so he was not impressed, and he knew the rules, and I missed the deadline for requesting that day off, and so he denied it. And I went and told Dad about it, and he was struggling because missing that game was unthinkable. This is a big deal for Sherrard. I wasn't playing it, but Dan was, and so it was a big deal for the family. But he also was against lying, and so couldn't really think of a good way out of work. And after thinking about it for a while, he gave me this advice. He said, "Okay, son, you're going to call in sick." Now, I knew that was a fast way to get fired because they knew why I needed that day. But he had an ace up his sleeve, and he said, no, when you call him, tell him that you woke up in the morning sick and you've had really, really bad diarrhea all morning. And as a 17-year-old, I was thinking very quickly, so I'm going to get fired and humiliate myself. I don't see the point. And I was trying to figure out, we didn't talk about the strategy or the logic, but it appeared to me that our visions were different for how this would play out. And he seemed to have a vision that I would call up my boss. "Hey, Mr. DePape, this is Darren. I woke up sick today," and he cut me off. "Darren, you already told me your brother's got a football game. If you don't come in for your shift, don't bother coming back." That's what I envisioned. But for this to work, when he said, "Darren, you already told me your brother's got a football game," I'd say, "Hear me out. This sickness that I'm obviously lying about is really, really bad. It's the kind of pretend illness that would have you in the bathroom all morning, all day, and I gotta believe if you really knew how bad this fake illness was, you'd be a monster to make me come in." And so this is all in my head. And how it did play out, I did go to the game. I did not humiliate myself the way that I was asked to. And I was done working at the Showcase. So, I'm sharing that because we didn't think there was any chance we were going to pull off this surprise today. And I wanted to give you a glimpse into the kind of deception we were taught at a young age. We were handicapped in this way, and so it wasn't going to be our fault, but it did work. At least it seemed to. So anyway, that's why I wanted to share that. So we learned a lot from this man. Lying wasn't one of them, but there are three things that I did learn that have served me well that I want to share. And the first is character. And we've all got values, but until you put your values into action, they're not your character. And we got to see this guy live his values every day, and we still see it today. And that has been really important to watch how that's done and to embrace it. Because when you base your decisions and your life off of values, it kind of simplifies a lot of things. It simplifies the why and the what. Doesn't make the how any easier, and we all have difficult decisions. But when you're basing those decisions on values, it's a lot harder to fool yourself into taking the easy road and the easy way out and making some short-term decisions. So I think about that, and one of the things I say a lot when I've made tough decisions, whether it's firing a popular coach or picking the Olympic team. One of the ways I explain that when I'm challenged is, look, my job isn't to make the easy decision or even the popular decision. It's to make the right decision, and that I learned from this guy. So that's the first one. The second is humility, and humility is kind of the opposite of ego. You can't have a lot of humility if you got a big ego that's fragile, and no one's ever going to accuse him of that. And it's truly remarkable when you think about the background that he started with. I mean, had a single mom, 2 sisters. They certainly weren't wealthy by any stretch, and in a lot of ways, he should have been a statistic, but he wasn't, and part of that is due to being humble and having humility and being willing to always learn and own your mistakes, and that has been big. And there's two quotes that I think about when I think about this topic. And one is there are 2 types of people: those who have been humbled and those who will be humbled. And the second is, you don't know how strong you are until being strong is your only option. And the reaction to both of those, where tough things happen in your life, is kind of the same. Just you keep going. And for him, there's a lot of reasons why you keep going. But from my observations, the way I sum it up is he keeps going because he's not the kind of person who doesn't. And that's because he lives his life by value. So the third one is kindness.
You like it?
And this is beyond, hey, be nice, or oh, that's a nice guy. That's not what I'm talking about. To have true kindness, you really value people as people, as humans, and that's the default. And we saw this growing up all the time, and it wasn't until I left home that I saw how it could be, and it was weird, and I'll never forget. So Earl Ashton was a very wealthy man, sponsored our Olympic team in 2002, and he took all the athletes out to dinner one night, and it was great for us. We loved having a good meal. We had no money of our own, and so he's treating us, and he was being so mean and condescending to the waitress, and it was weird. I didn't understand it, and sadly I've seen it since then. And there's just some people that want to kind of show that they are superior in some way to service people, and the fact that it was odd to see is a testament to the fact that we never saw that growing up, because he looks at everyone as individuals, and he doesn't put impressive people with great titles above him, and he doesn't put people of lower economic status or social status below him. Treats everybody equally, and that's important, because when you do that, when you treat people like that and see them like that, eventually you see yourself that way. And as your situations change and your identity changes, you don't have the kind of up and down reaction and having to deal with those life changes, because who you are on the inside hasn't changed, and you can't value other people that way and not do that to yourself. And so that wasn't something that I don't think it was ever said, but it was something that we got to watch every day. And so So those were important lessons in my life that I value, and give this man credit for that. And just want to finish by saying, you guys could raise a glass, and may we all have the kind of impact on those closest to us by the time we're 85 that this man has had on those closest to him. So, love you, Dad.
Cheers.